of the scene shifted south to Ayrton Senna's hometown, Sao Paulo. On the road to the Interlagos circuit that hosted the Grand Prix for the second successive year, Senna had never won here or in Rio. A home victory was long overdue in the eyes of the thousands of fans who gathered to glimpse only one man, their world champion, Ayrton Senna. A rarity indeed, a prophet with honour in his own land.
It's always good to be home, but it's extra pressure, of course. I like very much to win here if I can. I've been near to do it many times in the past, but for a number of different reasons we weren't able to do it. So let's hope this weekend we can do something better.
To say the least, the weather was not good all weekend. Black clouds threatened as soon as any sunny periods developed. And in the rain, Ferrari, after their 15-second plus effort in Phoenix, tried to smooth out the system. Pit stop practice designed to reduce time on the jacks to around 7 seconds. More rain in free practice. Nigel Mansell, the man, caught out, damaging the front end of his Williams. Berger in the second McLaren, fighting for grip and not finding any. Just one disconcerting moment at a notoriously slippery corner. It also claimed Moreno's Benetton. Fortunately, without serious damage to car or Brazilian driver. The corner also accounted for Jean Alesi, the young Ferrari driver having his bright promise tarnished again. The focus of attention played his part to the full. Ayrton Senna eclipsed his rivals in the Friday session more than half a second faster around the 2.7-mile circuit than Jean Alesi. Come Saturday, the track was conducive to faster times. Mansell in the Williams Renault on one flyer clocked an incredibly rapid lap. His teammate Riccardo Patrese was the first to respond. And it had all the signs of spoiling the celebration party planned for Senna. But in that now familiar fashion, Senna set a target, achieved it. 1:16.393 assured him of pole position and gave Mansell plenty of food for thought. Senna, in a car that he was still not completely satisfied with, seemingly from nowhere had produced a pole-winning lap. The adulation given to Mansell in Britain is reserved for Senna at Interlagos. Senna knew it wouldn't have been possible without his team pulling out all the stops.
The fact that Williams has demonstrated to be so fast, it really put me going, because I don't think under normal conditions we could have beaten them for a qualifying lap.
Senna on pole, Mansell third, while Riccardo Patrese was delighted with his own performance in the Williams that ensured a place on the front row for the first time this season.
It was close, but not enough. Anyway, I think I'm very satisfied with the performance of the team, Williams and Renault. I think they did a great job during the winter, and they provide a car that I think is going to be competitive for the rest of the season. That is the most important thing. And apart from that, today I drove well. I think I did my best. I couldn't go any quicker, so Ayrton did the pole. Congratulations to him.
The Ferraris were a distant 5th and 6th in qualifying. Jean Alesi ahead of Alain Prost. Both were determined to do better in the race.
Well, the dramas began on the grid with Berger's McLaren catching fire, but the race went ahead, and as the lights went to green, it was Senna ahead, with Mansell and Patrese wheel to wheel for second, then the smoking Berger and the Ferraris of Alesi and Prost and Nelson Piquet's Benetton. Berger's fire seemed to blow itself out, and on down the hill went the field, with the Dallara of Emanuele Pirro getting off the road and onto the grass, but somehow staying in the race. So Senna had the lead, but right from the start there was real pressure from Mansell, which kept up all the way until the routine tyre stops. Senna and Mansell made theirs without changing positions, but Patrese, Berger and Alesi in 3rd, 4th and 6th places all came in on the same lap. This is Patrese's stop. Behind him are Alesi and Berger, and the Ferrari mechanics have to move extremely quickly. Watch for the men in the yellow shirts as the red and white car starts to move. Meanwhile, Nelson Piquet was trying to go the full distance on one set of Pirellis, but the re-shod Patrese was soon stealing his 3rd place. Prost, very unhappy with the number 27 Ferrari, had to make a 2nd tyre stop when in 5th place. He rejoined 7th, behind teammate Alesi. But Alesi was in next with the same complaint, which he passed on to team boss Cesare Fioria.
We have some problem with the handling of the car.
Now Senna, still leading but pushed hard by Mansell, was starting to have gear selection troubles. And then Nigel Mansell came into the pits with a puncture. He rejoined, still 2nd, but after all of this he was half a minute behind Senna. But with Senna's gearbox trouble, he started to close fast. Eric Comas retired in smoke and flames with the Ligier Lamborghini. And then, dramatically, Nigel Mansell was spinning like a top. He rejoined, but seconds later, he stopped for good. Here's the spin again. Very graceful in slow motion, but this was no mere driver error. Let's hear from the unlucky Nigel exactly what caused his 2nd successive retirement.
The problem we had, I went into the corner in 6th gear, I changed down to 4th, and it jumped from 4th to 1st gear. Then it locked the rear wheels and you saw it made me spin. I recovered the spin, got going again, pulled for gears, and there's no gears. The transmission, the actual gears and the gearbox have gone.
Now it was raining, and Senna was gesturing frantically to the race officials to try to get the race stopped. His gearbox was jammed in 6th, so he was relieved when the checkered flag came out. Ron Dennis, knowing how near Senna was to retiring, was overjoyed.
Yes, can't believe it! Brilliant, we got the suit.
Maximum points from 2 races for Senna, 0 so far for Mansell.